So in project 314, we're going to be working with lists. In order to make a list in Python, you use a variable name and then open and close square brackets. So on line 2, we have an empty list, and on line 3, we have a list with elements in it. To show the contents of a list, we can just print the list. We do that. We just get all the items printed out. If we wanted there to be like a title, we could put a title, but we can't concatenate this word in this list because those are different data types. So what we need to do is we have to convert the list into a string by using the string function. And here we have our title and then our list elements. Each element in the list has an index, and in Python, the first item has an index of 0. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so if we wanted to just reference one of the items, we could print my favorite color is, and since my favorite color is green, I'm going to write down the name of the list, then open and close square brackets, and then put the index of that item in that bracket. So 0, 1, 2, green has an index of 3. And so if I run this now, it should say favorite. Nice. My favorite color is green because it goes and gets the item with index 3 from the list. There are a few list functions. Most of them have to do with numbers. So if we wanted to print the maximum number in third list, we could do that, and it would find 14. We could also find the total of the numbers using the sum, or the number of numbers, or the number of items, using len for length. And if we wanted the average, we could say the average is equal to the sum of this list divided by the length of this list. So the average number of these numbers, or the average of these numbers, is 6.6. There are methods, and these methods are how we can add and remove items, sort them, find an item in a list. So I'm only going to show you 3 of them right now. But if we, again, print our color list, list 2, and then we add something to it, the way that we add is by using the append method. And so here what I'm doing is I'm printing list 2 as it starts, then I'm going to add the element purple to it, and I'll print it again. If we see that, at first it doesn't have purple, and then it does, and append always will add the element to the end of the list. We can also sort the list. So instead of adding purple, if I do list to sort, then you'll see that it changes the order, and now it's in alphabetical order. If it's strings, it'll make it alphabetical order, and if it's numbers, it'll make it in order of by size of number. And you can see that by running this method, it actually changes the list. It changes the list, or the order of the elements in the list. So by printing it on line 15 and 17, we get different results. Also, real quick before I talk about the index method, you'll notice that functions are usually the name of the function, parentheses, and then the list inside the parentheses. And here for a method, you'll start with the list name and then do a period and method name afterwards. And then the last one that I want to show is index. So if we wanted to find where in a list a certain item was, we can print list2.index and then what item to look for. And so if we type in yellow, for example, it tells us that has an index of 2. if we looked for a color that wasn't in our list, it'll throw an error because it can't find what place or what index that element has. And then the last thing we can talk about is logic. So in Python, we can use very conversational English to check if something is in a list. So we can say, ask the user to type a color, and then if that color is in list 2, so in this program, we're going to have someone type their favorite color. Colab's taking a little bit right now. But what this line 18 is going to do is it's going to check to see if what we type in that variable, if it is in this list. And so if it is, then it'll do this line of code, and if it's not, it'll do the last line of code. There we go. So if I type purple, it'll say good choice because purple isn't in this list. But if I rerun it and I type green, it'll check and it'll say, oh, because green is in that list, that's the basic color. This is useful because we can check to make sure that what the person types is in a list of responses that we want it to be. And then we can make a list of lots of different choices. So if we only wanted someone to pick one of these colors, then we can design a way so that if they pick anything else, it'll keep asking them until they pick for that one of these colors. And we'll talk about that in our next project.